Welcome everybody to another Beastman review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the War for Cybertron Optimus, scratch that, Nemesis Prime. Now, first off the bat, he is based off of the same exact mold as, well, of course, the Siege Optimus Prime. Major difference is just the color. The head is exactly the same. Only difference is really just, again, the color, and of course one's a Decepticon, one is not. Thankfully so. So, first off, he does come with some different attachments. He also does have a trailer. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of rearranging stuff on the shelves, and well, the trailer was put away in a box. And it was just kind of hard to get to said box with said trailer, so it's probably going to be in the box for a while. But he does come with some accessories. First off, he does come with this really cool sword. In mind, I believe this stuff came with, it was the Transformers Power of the Primes Evolutions figure of Nemesis Prime. He pretty much comes with all the weapons that he came with. His two arm cannons that look very reminiscent to the Armada Optimus Prime arm cannons. And also Giza. And he is a burb who turns into a sword. Burb, I want to buy bird. Bird up. The old worst show on television. So, the thing is with Giza, I'm getting the focus on the camera. Focus! I actually have him set on my shelf with Metal Hawk, the Titan Return version of Metal Hawk, just Metal Bird, Metal Hawk. You kind of get where that's going, but he does turn into a sword that, if you really want, you can hold. Where is Optimus Prime? Don't know. So, I mean, you could, if you really want to, you could put these on. It just, the pegs don't really work all too well. I mean, you could put them on like this, but I don't like the massive gap. You can kind of, you get where I'm, yeah, you see, it just doesn't look right, and when it's like this, it's kind of offset on his forearm, like he's pointing down. But who needs arm cannons when you've got them built in? He's got some machine guns that come out, and they function for the vehicle mode, of course. But I do like him holding this. For a while I had my Studio Series Grimlock displayed holding the sword, kind of representing his Energon sword. But I do have on his back, some Titan Return guns. I believe this was the one that came with Metal Hawk. Which, speaking of Metal Hawk, sorry about that, everyone. Size comparison, here he is with Metal Hawk. And here he is with Classics Boonbon B. And with the McDonald's Scorpion guy. Don't know what his name is, but call him Scorpio. There you go. Trademarked. All rights reserved. So, let's go ahead. Let's take his sword out. So, stand. Don't fall. One shall stand. One should fall. Does have some really good paint applications. He's got nice teal blue on his belt. Teal blue for his lights on top of his cab. He does have this really nice translucent red with this really good molded in detail that really makes it worth the point of using a translucent plastic instead of painting over it. It really shows you, he's a robot, he's from outer space. In fact, this is a Cybertronian version of Optimus Prime, essentially. Does have silver on his smokestacks. Does have a weapon port here. Down here. There's two on his back. And for the function of the weaponizers, he's also got two on each foot on the bottom. And of course, pegs for his hands to hold his weapons. Now, he does have some good articulation. He can do a full 360 at the shoulder, 360 at his bicep, and nice elbow articulation. Gets some really good range. And then if you want even more range, you can flip up this panel. You can, I don't want to be a chicken, I don't want to be a duck. Not yet. It does have some good waist swivelage. Can swivel at his knee, so if he wants to do pull Peter Griffin and you can, if you want. Does have a ball joint at his thigh, and again, he's got some really good articulation at the knee. Also, he has a pivoting foot and a pivoting heel and pivoting toe. His feet pivot. Let's say that. There's a lot of cool detail with this figure, and I appreciate Hasbro went ahead and even did another Nemesis Prime. Never got the Armada version. This was years ago. Never got that. There's a couple other versions of Nemesis Prime that they have released over the years. If you want to learn more of Nemesis Prime, you can go and check out a channel called The Basics. He goes into a lot of cool stuff about this character and the concept of where Nemesis Prime even came from. But again, I mean, he's got, back to the details, he's got silver paint on his toes. He's got the gray plastic for these vintage pieces on his leg. And in the back, let's do these. I added these again just to make him kind of pop out. I did actually add some Toy Hacks labels on his back, because when he's in his robot mode, these will be facing forward, facing down to his cab. As you can see, there's the top of the cab with some translucent red. We'll get to that. So, I mean, he has some good articulation, really good paint apps. He's also got red eyes. Got red eyes? Use clear eyes. Unless you're a robot, then I guess that really won't do much for you. He does have some blast ports on him, so if you want him to get shot at, you can. And also, we'll let him use my little pointing stick. There, he took Starscream's null ray. I needed this. Yes. So, he does have that on his shoulder. He has one on both shoulders. And he has one on each leg. And I mean, he can do a lot of cool, like, scenes where he's like, oh, I'm getting shot at. Please don't do that. Only I can do that to you. And only you can prevent forest fires. Unless I cause them. Then that's a different story. So, yeah, great figure, great robot mode, great articulation. There's some great points of articulation, great paint application. The list goes on, although I wish I could show you the trailer. But maybe later on I'll do a review of my Earthrise. I'll do a review of my Earthrise Optimus with his trailer, and I'll do a comparison of Nemesis Prime's trailer. It's essentially just like weapon storage. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. But yes, it's just an evil trailer. But at least she answers her pager. If you got that reference, let me know in the comments. Alright, well, let's go ahead. Let's get him transformed. We will be right back after these messages. Alright, and here we have Nemesis Prime in his vehicle mode. I like how menacing it is. No pun intended. Get it? Menacor. Yeah. So, as you can see, he's got even more translucent red for the grille, the lights, the overhead lights, windshield again, and there's those machine guns on the front. Nice silver strip right along the side. Some silver right there, silver painted wheels, and you can't really see it, but he's also got silver painted wheels back there. Little gap, but don't mind that. And again, tailpipes. Notice his tail lights that have no lights on it. He's a rebel. He doesn't need road safety. And there he has those really cool hollow reflective insignia stickers. Shout out to Toy Hacks. So I mean, he's got some really good molded detail, and with what they're trying to do, with what they can. Oh, my bad. My camera is deciding to have a life of its own. Come on, cooperate with me. Alright, so get my camera to work. Oh, my apologies, everyone. My tripod just it's kind of broke on me. So he's got really good detail. He actually rolls, and if you're curious, the trailer would just go right here. So just imagine there's a big long rectangle with some wheels on it. What I like to do is put some good weapons, and let me show you what that looks like. And this is how I like to display them. I'll use the arm cannons in just his vehicle mode to kind of give him these very menacing fuel tanks on the side, but of course they're not really fuel tanks. They're particle beams. Something like that, I don't know. Use your imagination. The rifles that I would have displayed on his back in these two ports right here, I have plugged into his smokestacks to kind of give him more of a menacing, intimidating look compared to Optimus Prime. So what I try to do, if I got, like, let's say if I had the Rodimus Unicronus figure, I would try to make his robot and vehicle mode look slightly differing. from one to another, just to really show you it's not just the same figure, but I try to add a little bit of characteristic to it when it's being displayed, especially for photos. So I really do like this. It's a good concept, the mirrored, not to be confused with the shattered glass version of Optimus Prime, where he's evil. He is just hell bent on destruction and revenge, and just full of just darkness. And I love that concept because I don't get me wrong, love Optimus Prime. He's one of the greatest heroes of Cybertron, greatest leader of the Autobots, greatest ally to the human race. But having everything opposite with this guy, it really does give it an imposing force. I guess you could say a, a challenge for Optimus Prime, other than Megatron and Galvatron, because in a way he's fighting himself, which is very deep and very, very hard spoken. So there's a lot of philosophy to Nemesis Prime compared to Optimus Prime. So I think it's great. I'm not sure how great this figure sold, but I'm really hoping that it did well. And it was part of a spoiler pack, and I'm glad I was able to find it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the trailer. She didn't answer the pager. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps out my channel a lot. Greatly. It helps out my channel amazingly. That's not even proper context of the word. I don't care. Follow me on Instagram at The Mighty Beastman with an E. Follow me on Twitter at The Mighty Beastman. Same handle as my Instagram. And if you're ever interested, check out the Facebook group, Official Nerdell Beastman. Big shout out to the homie JV over at OptiNation. I just found out he hit 300 subscribers today, so go and check out him. Show him some love. I've done a lot of videos with him. We went to What's Poppin' Utah, and also when he went to TFCon a couple years ago, I actually did an interview with him. And I've collaborated with him with a couple of his videos on his channel. So I will post all the information down in the description. And thank you for watching, and remember, till all are gone.